Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to explain the first chapter of class 12 physics, that is electric charge and electric field. And these points which are mentioned here are some of the topic which I'm going to cover in this chapter. So first one is electric charges. So let us see one by one. So when we think of electric charges in particular, what comes in your mind? Charging your mobile phone, laptop, or charging any electrical devices, right? So here we study what charge is, what are the properties of charges, and what are the things related to charge. So these are the topic which I'm going to cover in this chapter. So to understand this concept, I'll explain it with day-to-day life example. So have you ever blown and tried to stick balloons to the wall, like in the picture shown in 3? That is how you stick balloon usually, using sellotape or any other sticking material, right? So after blowing balloon, try to rub that balloon to your hair or some cloth and stick to the wall. Then you can observe that balloons stick to the wall very easily without using any sellotape or any sticking material. So what is the reason behind it? Why the balloon is able to stick to the wall? There is no battery in the cloth or any other charging devices are inside the balloon, but also from where the balloon gets charged. So these are the confusions, right? Similarly, if you think of a comb, like the picture shown in 2, if your hair is dry and if you comb your hair and immediately take the comb near to some pieces of paper, what happens? Have you ever observed? The piece of paper start getting attracted towards the comb. So this is the phenomena. This phenomena is also because the comb get electrically charged when you comb your hair. So these are the common example of electric charges we came across in our day-to-day life. So what is this electric charge actually? What is the definition of electric charge? And electric charge is a physical property of matter. So what do you mean by matter? Anything which occupies space is nothing but matter. So electric charge is a physical property of matter that causes it to experience a force when close to another electrically charged particle. So matter is made up of molecules. We know that this matter is made up of molecules, right? So electric charges are classified into two types. First one is positive charge and second one is negative charges. We know that the similar charges always repel and opposite charges attract. That is, we know that electric charge is a property of matter, and matter is made up of molecules, and molecules in turn is made up of atoms, and atoms includes electron and proton and neutrons. So proton and neutrons stay inside the nucleus and electrons revolve around the nucleus in circular path. We also know that electrons are negatively charged and protons are neutrons doesn't have any charge and protons are positively charged. We already studied that there are two types of electric charges. One is positive charge and another one is negative charge. And we know that always the similar charges repel each other. Similar charges repel each other. That is, it may be negative negative or positive positive, as shown in the picture. When we bound two negative charges, when we try to make contact with two negative charges, it always repel each other. Similarly, when two positive charges try to come close each other, they always repel each other, whereas when it comes to two opposite charges, opposite charges attract each other. So this is the property of two charges, positive and negative charges. So initially when we consider one object, that object is in neutral state. Neutral state means number of electrons and number of protons are same. So if we consider one object, initially the number of electrons are equal to the number of protons, then we can say that that object is in neutral state. When an object have more of positive charge, that means more of protons. So protons are always positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. So this is the non-phenomena, right? Electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged. So when we can say that an object is positively charged, that is when an object have more positive charge, that means less of negative charge, the body becomes positively charged or negatively charged because of the electron. So depending upon the number of electrons in the object becomes either positively charged or negatively charged. So when one electron enters to the body becomes negatively charged. So if we have one object, then number of electrons are equal to number of protons. That is, total number of electrons is equal to total number of protons. So when one electron enters to the body, what happens? The number of electron becomes greater than number of protons. So now we can say that this object is negatively charged. Suppose if we consider one object which is in neutral state, that is number of electrons are equal to number of protons. Suppose one electron leaves from the object, what happens? Number of electron becomes less than number of protons. That is, number of protons are higher compared to number of electron. Now we can say that this object is positively charged. So to understand this concept clearly, consider the same example which I have shown in the beginning of this video, that is the balloon and the wall. So I already told you that the balloon stick to the wall easily when this balloon rub against to the piece of clothes, right? So what happens to this phenomena considering to the electric charge? So consider the same example of balloon and cloth. So if we have one balloon here and it is when you rub the balloon against the cloth, so against the piece of cloth here, so consider this is the piece of cloth, the outer electron of the cloth moves to the balloon. So initially the cloth as well as the balloons are neutral, that is number of protons are equal to number of electrons. So when we rub the balloon against the cloth, the outer electron of the cloth move to the balloon. So what happens? The balloon get extra one electron. So the balloon becomes negatively charged. So when outer electron of the cloth enter to the balloon, the number of electrons in the balloon increases so that the balloon becomes negatively charged. So because number of electron become greater than the number of protons of the balloon, hence the cloth becomes positively charged. Cloth becomes positively charged because in the cloth the number of protons becomes greater than number of that of electron. So now when we take this balloon against the wall, because wall is in the neutral state, right, that is number of electron and number of protons in the wall are equal. So now when we take the balloon near to the wall, as we know that balloon is in negatively charged. So this negative electron try to attract towards the positive. So we already studied that opposite charges always attract towards each other. So this negatively charged balloon try to attract towards the wall. Hence it gets attached to the wall. So this is the reason behind the balloon to stick towards the wall. Similarly, in the case of comb as well, this is the phenomena happens when you comb your hair, dry hair towards and take comb towards the piece of paper, the paper attract towards the comb. So this is the reason. So next topic is methods of charging. So we can charge one uncharged object by two methods. So first one is charging by contact. Charging one object by getting contact with another object, that is charging one object by getting contact with another object is known as charging by contact. So this method is also known as charging by conduction. Charging by conduction. So we know the meaning of conductor, right? So in physics, a conductor is nothing but an object or type of material which permits the flow of electron charges in one or more direction. So that is nothing but the conductor. So charging by conduction is nothing but charging one object by getting contact with another object. So in this case, one object should be neutral. In this case, one object should be neutral. Neutral means what? Number of electron is equal to number of protons, right? So when the number of electrons inside the object becomes equal to the number of protons, then we can say that that object is in neutral state. So in this case, in the charging of conduction, one object should be neutral and another object should be charged. And another object should be charged. Charged means either it is positively charged or negatively charged, whatever it may be. If there are two charging by conductor, in this method we need two objects, right? So first object must be neutral and another object must be charged. Either it is positively charged or negatively charged, doesn't mean, okay? One object should be neutral. So when uncharged object bringing in contact with the charged object, the uncharged object get charged. So this process is known as charging by conduction or charging by contact. So consider this example which is given here. So negatively charged metal object and uncharged metal sphere. Here we have two objects, that is positively charged glass rod and neutral metal sphere. So in this case, the metal sphere is neutral object and glass rod is positively charged object. So here in the image B, it is given that bringing uncharged object near to the positively charged object, separation of charge takes place. So when we bring this positively charged glass rod near to this metal sphere, we know that opposite charge always attract towards each other. So all the negative charges in the metal sphere come closer to the positive charged object glass rod because of the attraction of opposite charges. That is, positive and negative charges get separated inside the metal sphere. So this is the First scenario happens when we bring a charged object near to the neutral object. Next, due to this attraction, the negative charge inside the metal sphere tries to escape from the metal sphere and tries to move back to move to the glass rod because of the attraction of the electron and proton. Hence, this metal sphere becomes positively charged because one electron move from the metal sphere. So what happens? Number of protons becomes greater than number of electron. What this means? That is, this metal sphere becomes positively charged. So in the next condition, if we remove this glass rod from the contact of metal sphere, even when you take the sphere far away from the metal block, that is not neutral anymore. That is now positively charged because it has extra electron. So this is negatively charged. Hence, this is the method of charging by contact. The next method of charging is charging by induction. So in this case, charging by induction, both the object will come close to each other but do not touch each other. Consider, so what happens in the case of conduction? Two material, that is glass rod as well as the metal sphere, come in contact with each other, right? But in the case of charging by induction, the glass rod do not touch with the metal sphere. So what happens in this case that we need to study. So consider one negatively charged. So in this case, one glass rod is here which is positively charged and metal sphere is there which is neutral. Neutral means number of electron is equal to the number of protons. So what happens? This glass rod come near to the sphere. Then the separation of charges takes place. That is, electron that have negatively charged come attracted towards the positive charge inside the glass rod and come closer to the glass rod. Hence, the separation of charge takes place. So, next method is, then we have to ground the positively charged of the sphere by the method called earthing. So this is the earthing process. From this, all the positive charge safely disposed to the ground and the sphere becomes negatively charged. So in the image 3, sphere is disconnected from the ground. After earthing, we need to remove the earthing procedure. Then sphere is disconnected from the ground. Then what happens? The sphere now becomes negatively charged because some of the positive charge get displaced to the ground, right? So now the number of electrons become greater than the number of protons. Now this sphere is, we can call this sphere as negatively charged because number of electrons in the sphere is greater than the number of protons in the sphere. Hence, this is the method of doing charging by induction. The next topic which I am going to cover is principle of conservation of charges. So now we know what is charges and types of charges. This topic is very important, and the principle of conservation of charges defines as the algebraic sum of all the electric charges in any closed system is constant. That is, what do you mean by algebraic sum? That is the sum taking into account of proper signs. If the charge is considered as positive, then we need to consider it as positive when we taking the sum. If the electric charge has the negative value, then we must consider the value as negative when we taking account to the summation. So that is nothing but the algebraic sum. So algebraic sum of all the electric charges in any closed system. So now we have two options, right? System and surroundings. So system other than anything, that is, this is surroundings. So surrounding is nothing but other than the system, everything is nothing but the surroundings. So if we consider the algebraic sum of all the electric charges in a closed system, then the total sum must be constant. That is nothing but the principle of conservation of charges. It is also states that in any charging process, charge is neither created nor destroyed. It is only transferred from one body to another. So if we consider one example, anything which I have explained in the previous lesson, that is the example of balloon with the wall, or rubbing of plastic rod or with the piece of fur, like that, the transfer of charges. So I am here considering one of the example. If we rub together a plastic rod, if we consider one plastic rod, and this plastic rod is initially uncharged. Uncharged means it is in neutral state. That is, number of electron is equal to number of protons. So if we rub together a plastic rod and a piece of fur, so we have one piece of fur here, both initially uncharged, both the objects are initially uncharged, then the rod acquires a negative energy since it takes electron from the fur. When we rub this rod with the fur, the outer electron of the fur move to the rod. So here initially the number of electron here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Here also number of electron is 5, number of proton is also 5. For example, I am considering 5. So when one outer electron of the fur move towards the glass rod, the number of electron in the glass rod becomes 6, whereas the number of electron in the fur becomes 4. So the total electron of glass is 6 and total electron of fur becomes 4 after rubbing. So before rubbing, total number of electron in the glass is 5 and total number of electron in the fur is also 5. So if we consider the algebraic sum of all the electric charges in a closed system. So closed system, if we consider the closed system, then this fur and glass rod comes inside the system. So the total charge inside the system here after rubbing is 10. Before rubbing is also 10. So the charge is neither created nor destroyed, but it is transferred from one body to another. So this is nothing but the principle of conservation of charge. So in any charging process, charge is not created nor destroyed. The second important principle is the magnitude of charge of the electron or proton is natural unit of charge, which is in the natural unit of charge. So this is all about principle of conservation of charges. The next important topic in this chapter is properties of electric charges. Basically, there are three properties of electric charges. First one is additivity of charges, second one is conservation of charges, and third one quantization of charges. So let us study one by one. The first one is additivity of charges. The term additivity is come from the word add. So add is nothing but the addition. It mainly indicates that addition of charges. That is, additivity of electric charge means that the total charge on the system is the algebraic sum of all the individual charges. So what do you mean by algebraic sum? Algebraic sum is the sum taking into account of proper sign of the charge. So if the charge has positive sign, then we must consider it as positive. If we have negative charge, that is minus q, then we must consider minus when we add those charges. So total charge on the system is the algebraic sum of all the individual charges. So for example, consider this diagram. If we consider one system here, then this system contains three charges, q1, q2 and q3. Then the total charge on the system is nothing but the algebraic sum of all the individual charges. That is, capital Q indicates the total sum of the charges, that is equal to q1 plus q2 plus q3. Suppose if we have one system of charges q where it has q1 minus q2 and minus q3, then what about the total charge here? The statement says that it must be the algebraic sum, right? So total sum must be q1 plus q1 minus q2 and minus q3. So we must consider the sign of the charge. Whether it is minus, we must consider it as minus. Suppose it is positive, then we must consider it as positive. So this is the additivity of charge. That is, total charge on the system is the algebraic sum of all the individual charges. So if we have a system of charges with n charges, n charges may be what the value of n may be 1, 2, etc. n. So the total charge will be q1 plus q2 plus etc. plus qn. So this is the general equation of additivity of charges. So this is the first property of charge. So moving on to the second property, that is conservation of charges. So we already studied the law of conservation of charges, that is, charge neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can transfer from one part of the system to another. So this is nothing but same as the law of conservation of charges. Here also we have two objects, one with plus q charge and another one with neutral body. If the 5 plus q charge move towards the neutral body, then the charge becomes equal, right? So consider this as first and this image as second. For first image, total charge on the system is equal to 10q plus here 0q, right? 0q. So that is 10q. For second image, total charge on the system is equal to 5q plus 5q, that is q is equal to 10q. So in both the cases, when even if the charge is transferred to the another body, the total charge on the system remains constant. That is conservation of charges. Charge neither be created nor be destroyed, but the charge may get transferred from one system to another, one part of the system to another. So this whole two object is considered as one system here. So this is about the conservation of charges. This is the second property of charges. Next, moving on to the third property, that is quantization of charge. The charge on the electron is a constant value, that is always charge on the electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Since the body cannot lose or gain a fraction of electron, right? The charge on the body must be an integral multiple of electron charge. So it cannot be a fraction value like 1.5 electron or 2.3 electron. So this is completely wrong. Either it must be 1 electron charge or 2 electron charge or 3 electron charge, like that. It must be an integral multiple of electron charge. So it cannot be a fraction value. In other words, charge on the body can only be, so we can write charge on the body, the value must be the integral multiple of the electron charge, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. n. This is called quantization of charge. So this is the equation. So these three are the properties of electron charge.